Everybody, it is Wednesday night, it's hump day, and you know what that means. It is time for the Riot Wednesday Night Showcase. Don't forget to tune in later on tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Kente Standard, for the flagship of Real People, Real Talk, Just Kicking It with Ramsey, and it's going to be a humdinger of a good time tonight. It actually is. So tune in for that. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but there's going to be some discussions about stuffs. But right now, it's the here and now, the only now you will ever have. It is time for the Wingman Show, and I am, of course, the most humble host in the world, the Wingman, here to give you who's doing what in Hollywood. Excuse me, not who's doing who. To my right is that guy. Maybe you've heard of him, maybe you haven't. But either way, he's here. His name's Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
Pretty good.
Okay. So, not really a whole lot's happening this week. I mean, I have stories, I guess. There's of things and of that nature. There's not really a whole lot going on this week. Don't get me wrong. The news that we have is big news. At least I think it's big news. That's why we're covering it. But
of course it is.
I'll be honest. There's not a whole lot of it. So, would you like to go ahead and dive right into this week's? You know, I don't want to call it headlines anymore. What? Give me the marquee.
How about news?
You really have a thing or two to learn about branding. You know, because
this week's news just rolls off the tongue.
And you're all about things that roll off the tongue, aren't you?
Oh, burn. Good job.
No, not really. Okay, this week's news. I'll take your suggestion for now, but if you out there in the listening world have a better suggestion.
Which you probably don't.
And please don't say canceled, because that's not funny either. Okay, so the first topic, the first news item, the Lego Movie 2 has been greenlit and has a release date for 26 May 2017.
The future.
Yes, the future. At that point, we're going to have shoes that lace themselves.
We're not going to be watching movies by then. The PlayStation 5 is going to be out.
In 2017.
Yeah.
You're saying this one's going to have like a 3 to 4 year life cycle?
Yeah.
The PS4 is going to have a 3 to 4.
They're going to be like, oh crap, we released the other systems a little too early. Now we can do it. With enhanced graphics that don't look the same as the last generation.
We have to get our 4K console out there. So, the Lego Movie, by the way, I saw the Lego Movie over the weekend. And I have to say, it could be. It doesn't pull on the heartstrings as like a Toy Story. Any of the Toy Stories, because those just make you, they touch your heart, man. They make you want to cry. And they never let go because you got Andy, it's just toys. And, it's one of those things, man. So it's not like that. But I think the Lego Movie could possibly be the best animated film I've ever seen. And that's coming from a real place. Because they don't. I can't explain it without spoiling it, and everyone else has already said this movie's awesome. And I just tend to agree. You know what else is awesome? Everything.
What?
Well, when you see the Lego Movie, you'll understand. Because everything is awesome. Anyway, a show that many of you know I absolutely loved and adored until, well, I can't say until it got canceled because I caught on late. I started watching on Netflix. But once it got to that last episode, and you realize, wait, this is the last episode ever, and it's a cliffhanger? I hate when that happens. It's been happening a lot more recently. They're like, if we end on a cliffhanger, there's no way in hell they're going to cancel us. Yeah, that's not always the case. But one of these shows that ended on a cliffhanger is coming back. Not as a full series, but I can live with that. A 13-episode miniseries of NBC show Heroes, titled Heroes Reborn, is going to come back. Is it going to kind of give us closure on all of the characters from Heroes, or is it going to open up a new door? I don't know. But just the fact that we're going back to this universe, I think, is a pretty good idea.
I would say there are those who disagree.
Like who? Who could possibly disagree?
Oh, I don't know. I was just saying that. I'm just saying, theoretically speaking.
Theoretically speaking, someone's like, Hitler had a lot of great ideas.
What?
They're out there. They're kind of loony, but they're out there.
I don't want to say anything, but
this is an audio show, so it would really help if you said something. Starting now.
We can leave something up to the imagination. That's a very important thing nowadays because we don't want to force feed. So
understandable.
I don't have to say anything. They understand.
But this is. Are you talking about the show or yourself?
I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. Just keep going.
When Heroes started, it wasn't the first superhero show on TV by far, but it was the first that was done in like a real serialized fashion. What you saw from one week, permanently affects what you see the next week. They didn't just Gilligan's Island it and forget, that guy in the submarine never came by. That happened, by the way. The Japanese soldier didn't realize the war was over, showed up on the island, tried to take everybody prisoner, and then at the end of the episode, he just went off on his own. Kind of weird. I told you before, Gilligan's Island was genius because it found a way to take a show about these people stuck on an island with no hope for salvation and bring in guest stars.
than me.
I pulled a Keith. Anyway, next on our hit parade of non-stop news, the Fantastic Four movie has been cast. Yeah, hold your applause.
Yeah, I know. Those I'd say 2.5 of those claps were like pity claps.
2.5?
Yeah, 2.5.
Which two? Let's get to that. So, the Fantastic Four movie has been cast, which means the rumors are true. They're making it, because until there's a firm cast in place, anything can be up in the air. And even now, they could say, you know what, this sounds stupid, so let's cancel it. Please. So to go over who's in the cast, let's... what do you want to start with?
Let's start with Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm is going to be played by Jamie Bell. The guy from Yancey Street is going to be played by an Englishman.
I don't see it.
Why? Because he looks like he's like 105 pounds?
Yeah, and he's an Englishman. That just adds to it. Well, we know Englishmen can do American superheroes just fine, but still.
Name one.
I don't mind the new Spider-Man. Him acting.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Let's see. How do we
I don't mind Christian Bale either. He's just not the best. I think he's overrated, but so do a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Isn't Man of Steel Superman a Brit?
Yeah, and he's even though the movie kind of it sucked. Even though that I didn't think he did a bad job either. If the movie was more well written, I think it.
But I mean, looking at this guy, and he's been in The Adventures of Tintin.
He was that douchebag from Jumper. That's the Scottish guy.
You mean everybody in Jumper?
That was such.
And that's not a personal opinion on these real life personalities. I just think everybody in Jumper was portrayed as a douchebag.
I hated that movie.
Look at me, I can go anywhere I want.
I'm not a fan of that movie.
It's like a movie about Nightcrawler.
Except it's called Jumper. Very creative.
He was in King Kong 2005, not the original or any of the 30 remakes.
Yeah, that is a remake.
Well, the other 30 remakes.
Yeah.
Allow me to correct myself, even though I shouldn't have to do that on my own show. Nymphomaniac.
What I'm here for, Josh.
Man on a Ledge. I'm going to jump on board the conversation train that everybody else is having. They plan to release this movie in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, for those of you keeping track at home, next year.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps they have a guy that has done this mocap stuff. So rather than having to retrain him on how to...
So he's just doing the voice?
Yeah, it's going to be CGI.
No, is this an Origins movie though?
Of course it's an Origins movie. They're going to forget the other two.
So he's going to play Ben Grimm before, and then when he becomes the Thing, he's going to do the voice.
Yes. And I believe it'll sound like this.
It's clobbering time.
Fuck you for taking my bit. Would you like a spot of tea? Or how about some clobbering? 1 number 2. So that is Jamie Bell. He will be the Thing. Big orange guy, kind of looks like...
the funny thing is, that's probably not the strangest choice.
It's what? I mean, they could have gone in so many different directions, like hiring a guy with a deep voice and muscles.
Or like hiring an amputee, because I believe that more.
Well, that would make the prosthetics seem a little more believable.
It would.
I think.
Everything makes more sense than that. They could have got the voice actress who plays Ellie in The Last of Us, so it would have been more believable.
Yes. So who would you like to go to next?
We'll do, let's do Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic. Should we call him Mr.?
Fantastic Jr.
Seriously, because he's what, 20... He was born in 87, so he's...
Hey, let's be fair, he just had a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to Miles Taylor. And your present is you get to be...
Taylor?
Teller.
That's
Miles
obviously an
Teller.
There you go.
That's what I said.
You said, it sounded like you said Taylor. See?
See what?
Somebody agrees with me who's not to be named, and this mysterious person behind you agrees with me.
You know, there's nobody behind me.
Well, you know, from my perspective, behind you being sideways. So Miles Teller.
You might know him from The Spectacular now. I doubt it, but he was in it.
That's supposed to be pretty good.
21 and over.
He was in the same movie 2 years in a row. That's pretty...
I have no idea what
He
you're
was
talking
in
about.
Project X, and he was in a knockoff of Project X, which is 21 and over.
I thought Project X was like a superpower movie.
Mm-mm. It's a bunch of... Well, I don't know. I thought it was like... Isn't it like the party movie? Chronicle's the superpower movie.
That's the Chronicle is the found footage superhero movie.
Yeah. And that was actually good.
Okay,
Well, some would disagree, but...
you know, it might not be such a great idea to get into arguments with ghosts that are, using air quotes here, behind me. He was also in Rabbit Hole. And I'm looking at his IMDb, and it looks like he's going to be starring, well, not starring, but in an untitled John Belushi project. He's going to play Dan Aykroyd. Rumored.
Okay, alright.
He was also in That Awkward Moment.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little while ago. So, that is your Reed Richards Fantastic Boy. I think the only logical choice next is to go to Sue Storm.
Yeah.
Sue Storm is going to be played by Kate Mara, whichever, who we do know, or at least those of us that have watched House of Cards know. She plays the... What's a good adjective to describe her? Feisty?
I guess. I've only seen the first episode, so...
She plays the reporter that...
Did you hear something?
Is it spoilery to say that Kevin Spacey's character kind of takes her under his wing about the ins and outs?
Who are you talking to?
Myself.
There's nobody over there. What are you doing?
She was also in 127-Hour Shooter and Iron Man 2
Oh, what?
as a U.S. Marshal.
Oh.
So she's moving up in the world. She's going to be in a superhero movie and have a name as a lead. That's crazy.
That's impressive.
You know, I can't take this anymore.
What can't you take? There's like 3 things I could guess. Which is...
Let me get the Ouija board out. See if we can summon the spirit to a microphone. Spirit, are you there? No? Spirit said no.
What are you talking about? You need to be on like one of those shows on, what is it, History Channel? They do all the ghost shows? What? It's not the History Channel. History Channel does like UFO shows.
Sci-Fi Channel?
No, Biography Channel. Something like that.
Here's the biography, and now here's the ghost hunt.
Oh, man.
So, Kate Mara, she's going to be playing Invisible Girl. She's only a year younger than me, actually.
Yeah. It's not too bad. Hers isn't too bad. She's older than Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, and her birthday's tomorrow.
3 or 4 years.
So happy birthday, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be her birthday by midnight.
In this time zone.
Yeah.
So we're not seeing any real argument over Kate Mara.
Yeah.
She seems to be age appropriate, 31.
Well, it depends, and you're going to get to that in a second, but it depends on how you look at it. I guess. Not too many people look at it from the way, I'm just going to end up spoiling it. Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
I'll keep going. Because there's only one member of this team left.
Captain America.
That's right. Wait, what?
Don't you remember how he played the Human Torch before he played Captain America?
Oh, that's right.
It's the same person.
Yeah. So the Human Torch goes back in time to become Captain America?
That should be like the last movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Normally I'd say that's crazy, but it's a comic book movie. I would not be the least bit surprised. Michael B. Jordan. No, not that Michael Jordan. And not Kevin Michael Jordan, but Michael B. Jordan from Fruitville Station, Chronicle, also from That Awkward Moment.
All My Children.
Apparently he was in All My Children in 1970.
Like,
What,
10
in
years
Euro?
before he was born? 17 years before he was born. That's impressive.
That is, I told you, time travel, man. Why does it have? Ladies and gentlemen, Michael B. Jordan's IMDb page, it said he is known for All My Children, 1970.
Chronicle, there's that again.
So, I think the one thing that I have repeatedly heard about this choice in casting has been, I'm fine with it. Usually, like when the Kingpin was cast for Daredevil movie, there was some sort of hubbub, not necessarily an uproar, but there was a response, and it was a heated response, that people think you should not change a character's basic features when you adapt them. And some of those basic features are race, gender, sexuality. And that's something...
Apparently not age, though.
People don't seem to care about age.
Fine if they're all like 10 years old.
Yeah. They're just going for a younger audience.
They call me Mr. Fantastic in these parts.
We're trying to have a serious discussion.
I'm sorry, you're right. This is very serious.
About a comic book
Please
movie.
go. Yes. What am I doing?
I don't know. But in about
Continue.
An hour and 5 minutes, you're going to be fired.
Why? Why?
Because I don't fire you on this show. I fire you on just kicking it.
Okay, so as soon as he says, well, hey everybody, you're fired.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna ruin the intro just to fire me.
I might have to say, hold on a second. We have an announcement to make. And then I'll say it, and I'm like, continue with the show. So, as I was saying, just about everybody, and I mean, regular fan and comic geek alike, are fine with this casting.
Are you sure?
I have not heard anybody go, you can't cast a black man as Johnny Storm, that's just crazy.
What websites have you been looking on?
Whoops, no, I listen to programming.
Oh. Dude, people are freaking... Oh, okay, so you're talking about credible people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not just some asshole,
There's like
with a
about
keyboard.
50 million assholes with keyboards that are saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, like, where have you been, man?
So you've heard negative comments?
Yes.
Okay, like what?
Well, not just the changing of the race, but the continuity between...
We haven't even gotten to that yet. I'm talking about the casting. We'll get into the story in just a moment, but
there are always going to be people who are...
Well, there's people that poo-poo on everything.
Not
like,
just that.
There's some people that are like, what's his face? The Batman dude.
Christian Bale?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, he was a terrible Batman. Oh, Ben Affleck's a terrible actor. Oh, Steven Spielberg does stuff.
Okay, aside from the people who hate it... Did you hear that?
No.
Dude, I swear to God, there's a...
Look, if you don't have anything constructive to say, okay, then don't start like you have something constructive to say, and then cut out and blame it on something that's not there.
I'm sorry, I just heard something. Continue.
You were the one talking.
Okay, so besides you're gonna get to the continuity thing later, and you know what I'm talking about. I guess other than the people who just poo-poo on everything, I guess there isn't really too much else to complain about.
Okay, then let's get into that.
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen.
This is the big reason right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, if there ever was a reason, which, to give my personal opinion, I don't believe I've seen him perform in anything.
I saw Chronicle a while ago.
Well, I did see Red Tails.
I hadn't seen Fruitvale Station.
I don't have a problem with this. I don't think there is an issue. I don't think there's...
The casting or the continuity?
With the casting. Okay. What people have a problem with is the Human Torch, Johnny Storm, is Sue Storm's brother.
Biological.
Yeah, biological brother. Yeah, that's
means something.
Yeah, because that could throw the whole believability of the movie just right out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, the suspension of disbelief would be gone. Forget the rock guy, forget the stretchy guy, forget the invisible guy.
Because I've seen all that.
Girl, forget the guy on fire, for Christ's sakes.
That could all happen.
If there's a black guy that's the sister of, or the brother of a white girl, it's gone. It's done. That is just completely unbelievable.
Maybe that's the reason that their mother's a little bit more promiscuous than the couples.
Mommy Storm was a whore. I'll be honest, I had more of an issue with, and I don't normally go into rumors, but I'm going to mention one this week. I was more irritated with the rumor that they would possibly make Dr. Doom a female.
Why?
Because in my mind, and knowing Hollywood the way I do, being an expert and the host of the best show on the internet to find out about entertainment news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that the only place they would go with that is, so Reed knew, I guess she would be Victoria Von Doom.
I suppose.
Knew her in college, and suddenly there's a love triangle, and now blah, 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 blah.
It seems like, knew her in college, so what, like they're like students of her? She's like one of their teachers they're trying to get back at? They're like college students.
No,
that'd be an interesting Fantastic Four story. They're all college students. That's why they're so young. And Mrs. Doom, Mrs. Doctor Doom, is a professor. That makes perfect sense.
So it's like Animal House meets Avengers or something?
Oh man, it's anything at this point, I guess.
But as far as the original issue goes,
This just in, Jennifer Lawrence as Doctor Doom.
would not surprise me in the least. We have to get Jennifer Lawrence in a movie. What shall we do? Well, we could cast her as Victoria Von Doom.
Are you the actor playing as Ben Grimm? Was he a producer too?
No, it was just random executive.
Oh.
So
He's behind it all.
do you have any issue with the casting or the canon? Well, let me ask you this:
Not the casting.
Do they have to
But the continuity.
stick with the source material?
Yes, to that degree. Yes.
Well, come on! Why is it so hard to believe?
Fantastic Four is a family superhero story.
Excuse me.
Oh my God!
I know I'm not supposed to come into the next segment, but yeah, I got a fucking problem with this. I have a major problem with this.
Dude, the Ouija board worked.
Why in God's name is it necessary to make him black? This is the equivalent of making Spider-Man gay. Period. I'm not excited. I'm not one pushing for what is his name, Idris to play James Bond or the fucking Green or the Green Lantern. For what? Just to say we had a black guy do it. That's no.
Well, let me point something out. Idris Elba would be perfect for the John Stewart Green Lantern.
Why?
Well, he's the Black Green Lantern.
And James Bond?
And James Bond, you know,
Sean Connery.
no, there is an explanation for this, and it goes, and I thought of it, but apparently in the very first movie, Casino Royale, the spoof that came out,
57.
something like that. The name James Bond and handle 007 are actually given to an agent,
That's a really popular.
and it gets transferred from one agent to another as they retire or die.
That's a really popular fan theory.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't accept that as.
I don't either.
But
But it had a script that had brought Sean Connery back for it. So.
Here's the point that I'm making.
yeah.
And I think it's good that we're making this point on this particular show when we're preparing to do the Black History Show. I think my people need to stop looking to do white people things to validate them. I don't think there need to be a black character in the Fantastic Four. If you want to make a hero movie and have a black guy in there, then make one, write one, create one. Don't sit here begging other people to give you a part in there, because this is not Michael B. Jordan, you're the greatest guy for this role. It's Michael B. Jordan, you're the exact perfect high, you're the man right now, black token. So can we get you in this movie? Like I'm saying about the Spider-Man thing. Why is it necessary for Peter Parker to be gay?
Well, that was never going to happen. It was Andrew Garfield, and why not?
Yeah.
That would also change continuity though, because then you'd have to make like Mary Jane a male character, or at least male versions of those characters.
But like Ramsey, you just said, if you're going to do something like that to a character, create something new.
Right.
There have been, I think, 4 or 5 different Spider-Men.
Mm-hmm.
I can't name them all, but there's been a Latino Spider-Man.
Isn't he the futuristic one? 2099.
Yes, and I think in the Ultimates comics, Peter Parker died, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yeah, at some point you do.
was replaced.
There's what's his name? Ben Reilly? Isn't he one?
Yeah, he was a clone,
Yeah.
or was he the original?
They said, I remember
That's why that storyline was so crazy.
They said that the whole time Peter Parker was a clone and Ben Reilly was the original, but they changed it later, I think, because it pissed fans off.
Yeah, that's the thing about comics. They can do whatever they want. And that's the thing about Hollywood. They can do whatever they want. And the real interesting thing is when it comes to heroes, when it comes to superheroes, the majority of them are behind masks. So whoever they are on their downtime in their personal life is irrelevant to the crime fighting on the screen. It's just there to help flesh out a story, to give you a reason to care for the character.
Thus is the reason why he must be white. 9% of the time. And here's my point. I don't have a problem with that.
I'm not going to argue with you.
If that's the game you play, then play that game. But see, again, casting him has nothing to do with casting the best person for that role. He was cast for his skin tone.
So you think it's just a gimmick?
Absolutely. It's no different than why I don't watch The Walking Dead. It's a gimmick. And I would not support this movie. And I support him, but I would not watch this movie because it's a gimmick. Just like, this is no different than when they cast Tyler Perry to play Alex Cross. Because they knew the sheep would come see Tyler Perry. And this is no different than that casting. So that's why I'm saying, to me, no, don't do it.
Okay, this is just a little reminder, a tangent. I'm hoping that everybody follows Tyler Perry when Single Moms Club comes out later this year.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't have a problem with this, and I'll tell you one very good reason why. Because I'm not this guy. I don't normally make calls like this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to say it now. This movie's going to be terrible. I said it. It's going to be awful.
Of course it's going to be terrible. Every movie they make now is terrible.
Not every movie. I saw the Lego movie. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I heard that lie you said.
It wasn't a lie.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
If there's one thing I don't do, you know this. I don't lie about what I like.
Right.
You know that from earlier when I said, hey, I like Tyler Perry movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
I know why. I can't say it on the air, but I know why. See, I could tell you, but then I have to kill you.
It's a good thing Kevin really hasn't stepped up in the enthusiasm department.
What?
Exactly. Last thing I need is somebody to replace me and be dead.
No, sir, you're unreplaceable. But that still don't mean I wouldn't kill you. We just move on.
Everything we're doing with a wingman, gone. We have
reruns.
You know what? How many shows do you have?
I don't know.
You got enough that we can just take snippets out.
Just making the same movies over and over anyway.
He's like, hey, how you doing today, Wingman? I'm fine.
I'm good. How are you?
There's going to be a Wingman soundboard.
How are you?
Absolutely.
What do you think about that, Wingman? I think it's fantastic.
But no, I think this is a token move, and the problem with it being a token move is that the black sheep is going to celebrate it like it's an achievement.
No, man.
When it's actually 100% not. It's a, we know you're fucking stupid. We know if we, I'll give you an example of one that they fell for. I think was it Scream 2? Where they had Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps. They promoted the hell out of this. They had them on the posters. They both died within 10 minutes of the movie. They both are just... Let me put it like this, without, well, hell, if you ain't seen it by now, it's your problem. They both died in a movie theater. The ending credits happen at a movie theater. The opening credits happen at a movie theater. That's how quick they're gone. But see, they promoted it as though Jada was going to be in this movie. So the sheep came running.
Which one?
I don't. It's one of the Scream movies. I think it was 2. Could be 3.
And who was it?
Jada Pinkett.
Jada Pinkett.
Yeah. I mean, if you pull up the poster, the band, I think, if I remember serving me is correct,
It looks like Scream 2.
is her face on the poster?
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the poster.
Is that her all the way to the right?
Yeah, her face. They promoted this like Jada Pinkett was going to be in this film. If you got popcorn by the time the movie started, you missed her.
You know, that reminds me of Jersey Girl.
Wow.
I don't know anybody anywhere, because I know Kevin Smith certainly did do it, promoted this as a Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez flick.
Mm-hmm.
But spoilers, Jennifer Lopez dies very, 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 very early into this movie.
Which movie is it?
Jersey Girl.
Oh.
Right.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. But no, that's the way I see this whole thing with this guy right here. And here's the thing that irritates me is I think Michael B. Jordan is an intelligent man.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligent enough to say, I'm not going to be your token. So he loses points for taking that role in my position. Now I can understand if he was not the hot guy right now and he was like looking for work, then yeah, dude, make your money. But this guy right now can get any role he want right now.
Let's see. He has 2 movies lined up. One's Fantastic Four, and the other is 999. A group of gang members and a corrupt cop plan the murder of a police officer in order to pull off the biggest heist yet.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
this is the biggest heist yet. You've not seen a heist this big.
Yeah, okay. But again, back
Remember
to
Heat? That was nothing.
the point that no, I'm not excited about this casting. I think if you're going to do the Fantastic Four, then do the damn Fantastic Four.
They did that a couple times.
Right.
They've made 3 Fantastic Four movies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Roger Corman one from the 90s
Nope.
that never got released.
Oh yeah, I got to see that.
I still want to see that.
Yeah.
And then the 2 with...
One was just regular Doctor Doom, and then the Silver Surfer one.
I thought Surfer looked awesome.
Yeah. I thought the Silver Surfer one was one of the better stories that I've seen in an action movie, in a comic movie rather. It didn't get Avenger. That's the best story, and I only give them props because they did such an excellent job of bringing all those guys together.
With everything I'm seeing about Avengers 2, I'm getting excited.
I'm in all that Bond excitement coming from the Batman Superman movie is getting pushed into that one. So
I'm not excited at all because that question that I wanted answered, they answered it. I just wanted to see how they was going to mesh them all together. I saw it. They done it. Now it's just going to be another comic book movie.
That all of these other movies are still building towards.
I don't even like the comic book movies anymore. I think they peaked at Batman with Jack Nicholson.
1989.
No, that's not fair. Actually, they peaked at what was the second Spider-Man with
Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was very good.
That was a very good one.
I thought Batman Begins was, I'd say at the time it was different.
Yeah, I would go with different. I wouldn't say good, but it was different. And yeah, they just got going downhill and just haven't stopped. Now, I would, like I said, I will give them a pause for Avenger, but again, I did not go into Avengers looking for the movie as much as I wanted to see the technique they was going to use to bring all this together. And they did an excellent job. But I've seen it, so I'm not excited about the sequel.
I thoroughly enjoyed Iron Man,
Which one?
the first one.
Yeah, that was good. But I think that was more casting. I think they got the right guy to play Tony Stark.
Robert Downey Jr., play yourself.
Yeah, I think he's just the perfect guy to play Tony Stark.
And then this is going to sound crazy, but I like Captain America. One, because I like World War II movies.
That was so boring. That was
I saw it
boring.
like twice. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was pretty good.
It was a boring
It's
movie.
not one of the better ones.
No, it's boring. You can say it's all right. Go ahead. You can say it.
I don't think it's bad.
I didn't know. You can say boring. It's okay to say a comic movie is boring.
I wasn't into Thor.
Thor 2.
I wasn't into Thor at all.
I was surprised by Thor just because my expectations were low.
When I saw
Thor
it,
2 was underwhelming.
when I saw Thor, it was on a less than reputable means. I saw it for free.
Oh, okay. Well,
So one, I didn't have a dollar sign to, lower or raise my expectations. And let's face it, movies you watch for free get treated differently than movies you pay for.
lies. If it sucked, it sucked. Whether I paid a dollar
Well,
or
yeah,
not.
it sucked. But there are the movies you're like, I wouldn't have paid for it, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it.
Now,
That's what Thor was for me.
Yeah, I've seen movies where I was like, I'm glad I didn't pay for that. Because I'd have been even more upset
Exactly.
if I paid for it. Yeah.
You have a tendency to be more forgiving if you don't have to pay.
Right.
So, and that Hulk movie I thought was
Which one?
the
Incredible Hulk or
Ang Lee Hulk was terrible.
That's the giant Hulk.
The one where it's all shot in darkness and
non-Edward Norton, Eric Bana, I think.
yeah, the one from 2003.
Yeah,
Okay, the first one sucked.
that's the first one.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. The second one, again, I'm going to go casting.
it was a Hulk movie. It's one of those things going in. Oh, this is a special effects movie.
Yeah.
You're going to watch the Hulk smash shit. And it just so happened they, as you said, casted a guy that can pull off the Banner moments,
Right.
which then goes completely out the window because apparently nobody liked to work with him, so they had to get somebody else who, in my opinion, Mark Ruffalo did a superb job.
I think so too.
He was so understated. I like that.
You talking about in the Avengers?
Yeah.
That guy so played the pussy.
Yeah, that was the point.
Oh, well then, yeah, he did a good job, because I hated him watching him on screen.
Because, as the Hulk, he's the Hulk. But as Banner, he's just supposed to be this little scientist
The
guy.
guy
It's like,
who's-
Yeah, because if I could have took a vote on who Loki should have killed, it would have been Banner.
The guy who stays on the helicarrier.
you're gonna kill the guy with a Loki pokey stick.
Gotta be the Hulk. Batman. Well,
And out of all of the things in that movie, I despised that stick was probably. I think that was the only thing that I actively despised. Like, so he's like,
His
"Bing,
little-
you're evil now."
Oh yeah.
And the way that it works is apparently your heart controls whether you're a good guy or a bad guy. Not like the emotional heart, but your physical heart.
I can get that. I can see that.
Because he's like, Iron Man, I'm going to turn you. And he's like, ding, ding, ding.
Call him off.
Yeah, that was kind of terribly written.
So,
I love how he complained. Jeremy Renner, who played Hawkeye, I love how he complained about being a bad guy for like most of the movie because of that stick.
that goddamn stick made me a bad guy. Everybody hated me. I thought I was going to play a character that's going to be fleshed out. It's like, it's a comic book movie, right? I understand in the comic books you have 50, 60 years to,
He had plenty of moments to play it more fleshed out. He got to be a bad guy and a good guy in the same movie.
Yeah, there
That
you go.
shows so much range there.
That's the bullshit that'll sell.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not an interesting bad guy. He's just a controlled by a magic stick bad guy. With no emotions whatsoever.
He should have been happy just to be able to be shown as, a guy.
That's so disrespectful to his acting skills.
He's the one that signed up for the part.
Hey, it beats the cameo in Thor. At least he's kind of a major character now.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to be in 2 shots in Thor. Nobody will know who the hell you are, so it doesn't matter. Except, the fans of
Except by, those few fans out there who actually know the character, or the other people who are going to think you're a Green Arrow knockoff.
Yeah, people are going to go to the movie, they're going to see you, and they're going to think you're a Green Arrow knockoff. You're Green Arrow, or someone in the audience is going to start wondering, why the hell does he have a bow and arrow? Doesn't he realize everybody else has guns?
That is a good point.
It's Green Arrow. Man, I saw him on the CW.
And then there's that whole, is the Batman versus Superman movie going to be a Justice League movie?
I'm very disappointed with what they're doing with that.
Why? I don't understand the disappointment. Hollywood has sucked for the last 12 years consecutively.
But this is a new level of suck. This is this is evolution we're watching right now.
Well, that settles that debate.
No, here's the thing. I think they gambled that the Avenger would not be the hit it is, and now they're scrambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nobody's going to go watch a movie with little plot and a lot of action.
No, I think that they thought it was going to be a bust.
And that's what I'm saying. I agree. The thing is, Marvel bet that Robert Downey Jr. can get people interested in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
And they would put all of the character development in their own movies, so that by the time it was, time to get them all together, we had an idea of what the characters were like. We had an idea of how they would interact with each other. And there was no need for a lot of exposition, except, oh, by the way, this is the bad guy, this is who they're fighting, and this is how they interact with each other now. Go.
Right.
That's what happens when you lay out the floor plan to the house you're building.
Right.
Right now, Warner Brothers and DC have one movie under their belt, and that's Man of Steel. And what was your review of it, Kevin?
Oh, it was just a grand movie. It sucked. It was It was, sorry, I was distracted by a ghostly apparition.
I don't know how the hell I got to be the ghost, but okay.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's not, Iron Man, you know, some people might not like it, but it's a great foundation for what turned into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Man of Steel is not that.
No. What we saw a satellite that said Wayne Enterprises or something.
Oh, that's so cool!
That was the extent of their preparation.
Guys, how do we set up this massively expanding universe? Oh, let's destroy Miss Roberts.
Okay, so I'm gonna tie that up with a nice little ribbon, and before
Man of Steel doesn't deserve a ribbon, but okay.
I didn't say a blue ribbon.
Ben Affleck shall win an Oscar for this role.
That came out of nowhere.
And don't forget, we live in a world where Jonah Hill is now a 2-time Oscar nominee.
For what? What?
Moneyball
and Wolf of Wall Street, when she was actually...
Wait a minute, he got nominated for Moneyball?
Yeah, Best Supporting Actor.
I hadn't seen Moneyball.
I did not know that. So they just give them motherfuckers to anybody. And I'm glad I started watching the Oscars. I love Moneyball. There was nothing in there was Oscar worthy.
Well, you know what? Speaking of Oscars.
Okay.
Okay, no
Did you say
slap on the back for the
Oscar?
This Sunday at whenever the Oscars start, we are going to be having a live broadcast right here on Spreaker.com.
How was that?
Shut the fuck up.
At whenever the Oscars start, so you know, Google that yourselves. You know what? I'm going to get myself rehired right now.
Well, you're not going to be fired for another half hour, so you might want to hold on to that.
Rehired soon. But I have to say it now, otherwise it won't make sense.
It's going to start at 8 p.m. It always does. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock Kente Standard. We're going to be doing a live broadcast during the Oscars, covering the Oscars, so you can hear what we think of, the people slapping themselves on the back for making terrible movies.
We're not going to do the 3-hour show before then, where we just talk about the clothes they're wearing.
For 3 hours. And she has on a dress.
Oh my God, that is stunning.
And look at that dress. It's a dress. I don't think I've ever seen a dress like that dress. Okay, here's the next person. She has on a dress. Oh my Lord, I've never seen a dress that looked like a dress.
Look, I know this doesn't always
but that's like
hold
true
true.
The show.
I know it doesn't always hold true, but 9 times out of 10, I think the people that are wearing the clothes before the show will be wearing the clothes during the show too.
What?
But
what are you talking about?
If you're going to be talking about the clothes, we can do it during the actual awards.
why?
Apparently, you have some
that's
fetish with
that's
talking about
like-
celebrity clothing.
Okay, we're doing a little satire here, if you can catch on. Okay, you don't know what that is?
The following
Seriously.
is a joke.
Yeah. But, no, seriously, as much as I hate the fact that they talk about their clothes for like the first 5 hours of the Oscars, it would be even worse if they were like, and an award goes to Matthew McConaughey, and God, he looks stunning in that insert brand name here tuxedo.
I liked it when John Hodgman did the voiceover the one year.
Why would you know who did the voiceover? Why is that important?
Because John Hodgman is wonderful. Because he'd be like, this is her first time being nominated, but her second time to that Chinese restaurant down the street. Kind of a small world. He was putting jokes into their introduction.
It is amazing that you know that.
What? It's John Hodgman. He's not a nobody.
What year was that, you know?
I don't recall.
But I thought he was wonderful.
Because I'm like trying to wrap this show up, and suddenly you got these two jokers going off on it. Shut.
Sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to interrupt your show.
I'm retracting my Oscar invite to you. So,
Jennifer is wearing
You're putting me over, you son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Before we head out, I just want to send our thoughts and condolences to the family of Harold Ramis. One of my heroes directed Caddyshack, Ghostbusters. I guess analyzed this, but whatever. Just profound director, writer,
You forgive me. I'm
actor.
Groundhog Day is like the first one on there. Why don't you mention that? People like that.
Why are you still talking?
Sorry. I was just, trying to assist you in your very sweet tribute to this hero of yours.
By being a dick.
Yeah. Okay, I see we have some issues here.
Just hit the outro music. There you go. So, Harold Ramis, he will be missed. Wonderful all around. Everything he did was awesome. So until next week, speaking for Kevin and Ramsey, peace out.